X's and O's with LeRoy Butler. Now, here's Tom Silverstein.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to X's and O's with LeRoy Butler, and we are going to get right at it. We got two plays from the Houston Texans game, one on offense, one on defense, and good play design on both sides, I would say, on these plays.
Yes.
So let's set up the first one. And what we have here is I wanted to – part of the reason I like this play was because Packers seem to be doing this a lot. They get the tight end way out here.
Yep.
And then they motion him right back to the tight end position. Mm-hmm. Why are they doing that? They're getting something out of this guy, right? Learning something out of this guy?
Exactly. There's a few things if you're defense. First of all, if it's a tight end out here, they want to know, did you run a linebacker out there to cover him? Did you have a safety come up here and cover him? Or did the corner just expand to tell you whether or not it's zone or man?
Mm-hmm.
And then they want to make sure they get the leverage on you. Sometimes he'll come down and crack. These guys will pull, and you do a toss play to Jamal going this way, and then you got the soft corner. But more than anything, it's really setting up a max protection route. But one thing I want to point out, look at the splits by MVS and look at the splits of Devontae Adams.
Mm-hmm.
Let's have some fun for a second. If that was me and Craig Newsom, I would give him a clamp call, and I'd be sitting right there. And I'd say, if Devontae go here, I would take him, and you would replace me as a safety if he ran an over route. If he ran anything else, it's a true double on him. And if it's a run play, we'll just support late. I don't think the Texans had no idea Devontae Adams' split. But the reason why, because their offense, if you notice it, Tom, they all have short splits.
Mm-hmm.
And I was talking about this earlier when we were talking about who they should trade for. This has always been your move guy, Jay Sternberger. So he has a definitive role in this offense. And this is kind of fluid stuff that you need to do against Tampa. Confuse these linebackers and make them play instead of just going after the quarterback.
Right. Okay. So we go to the next play. And so there's a lot of stuff going on here.
Yes.
and the first one, so Sternberger starts here, and he starts next to Turner. And if I can get my drawer to go, he comes over here to cut off the tight end. And then Shepard, who's right here, comes this way for a fake handoff. And Jamal Williams is going this way. So we got a lot of guys going a lot of different directions, right?
Right. And that's the misdirection that you want. And the reason Sternberger comes over, Tom, because just in case this guy gets smart and just takes off, now you can get somebody to block him. Because remember, Aaron Rodgers' back is turned.
Mm-hmm.
Remember if I ever told you if you see a quarterback's neck, the safety should get depth? That's the only safety in the league. So once you see that name, that it's going to be pass, and you see the linemen, they're playing pass all the way. But you made a great point. This guy is trying to fight through to get Shepard, and he's caught up in the trash. So if they ever wanted to throw it to him out here, he'd have a nice little lane going there.
Yeah, and it's all looks like it's a run to the left. You know, everybody's moving to the left here. And you can just see how much time Rodgers is going to have because everybody is in check here.
Exactly.
So we can see that from this next shot. There's the fake handoff. In the meantime, what are Valdez-Scantling and Adams doing, and how does it relate to where the safety is?
Well, one thing about it, you got to pay attention to detail. So if I say MVS, you got to cross at 17 yards, you got to make sure it's at 17 because you're running a clear out for the best receiver in the league. But you got to get out of there, or you can't get jammed. You can't stop. You got to get out of there. And he gets a clean release and does what, most, I'm sure the Texans in their the scouting report say he's a speed guy. So once you see this, the safety has great depth, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
This safety is thinking, oh man, the fastest of these two is MVS, so I may favor him. It depends. Now, one point real quick. If Devontae's up and he has gotten jammed, say he got jammed, he's late. Now that safety is going to be all over him. So it's important for this route to work. The MVS, it's imperative, it's paramount that he gets a clean release and to clear it out. Because if it doesn't, now they've sniffed it out. Because remember, it's only a 2-man route. So you're taking your chances on this.
So what if, is there any way to know whether this is, if this were cover 3, which, you know, Seattle is known for playing, their corners usually play bump, but then they stay in these birds, right?
Yes.
But these guys got to know whether it's man. At what point do they know that?
Well, they'll know it's man once they see the guy running with MVS and Devontae Adams. Remember, he was in a short split. So they're thinking that, you know, and the guy was trying to bump him, but he gets worked on the line. So Devontae created separation there. So now these guys are in chase mode. So Aaron, once he turns around, he have plenty of time to know if it's a zone or if it's man, because you made a great point. If an inexperienced quarterback, he'll see 2 free guys running like this, receiver, an X, but you'll see the cornerbacks sitting out there. I've seen the quarterbacks throw it right to a guy sitting right there.
Right.
Well, the only way you throw it if you see a guy's chasing him. If a guy's not chasing him, then you really gotta have your receiver. Most of them won't just keep running over there to the guy. They will stop right about there.
Okay.
Right about here, and that's when you can make your throw, providing you got protection.
Yeah, I guess if it's zone, Jamal Williams kind of leaks out here, and that would probably wind up being a throw.
Yep.
Okay, so we'll take a look at that quickly.
And then real quick, look at this. You got 2 guys coming out here with Shepard. You see that?
Oh.
You got the guy trailing here, and then you see the safety. You got to get the deepest of the deepest. Well, guess what? MVS is the deepest. He's
right.
Devontae Adams. So he collapses. So what he should do is just stay back and say, oh, there's Devontae, go here. But then that creates a lot of space for MVS.
Yeah, and boy, is there a lot of space between this guy and Adams.
Yes.
You know, I mean, there's so many places he can go with this.
And normally, real quick, a coaching point, all of those plays always happen around this part of the field.
Mm-hmm.
You want to take a shot. And I think it's second down. You know, second and short, second and 3 or 4, second and 3. That's what we call shot plays. But I guess they didn't talk about that during the week, but this is when you look for shots. And that's taking a shot down the field.
And look how much time you got. I mean,
exactly. Wow. That's what the play action did.
That's how far he is. He's 7 yards, 7-8 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Ready to.
Yep.
So, and then here's just the final.
You're right.
Catch. And he's so far ahead of this guy. He didn't score, but, it is 2nd and 2, and this set up their second touchdown.
Exactly.
So, all right, let's go to the next. Now let's flip over to defense. And this was another short yardage play, only a little bit different because Houston is in the red zone.
Yeah.
It's 3rd and 3. And, getting the first down is an option here. They don't have to go into the end zone. So Mike Pettin brings all 7 guys up to the line of scrimmage. Why?
Well, he wanted to give that now in Watson's defense, he's thinking, well, I got to determine if this guy, is he normally up here, Amos? And is this guy normally up here? And then I'm looking at the middle linebacker. Is he really coming or is he faking? And then I look at the feet of the DBs. If they were in zone, would they be looking like this? Well, if they're in man-to-man, would they be looking like this? And the reason why it looks good like this, because you got 7-on-7, really, that's what you call it. They got enough guys to pick this up. But what I think what you want to create, Tom, if you can't create a free run, just create a one-on-one that you think you like that matchup. And I think that's a good thing to do, because also they have plays to where these guys will come up and he'll go to the flat. This guy will curl up here, and you'll see Jair come here, and then you'll see Josh Jackson go there, and they'll rotate like this, and they'll flood the zone and force the quarterback a quick throw because you think it's a blitz, and that's when you get a pick, and you got a pick six. So that's when you get guys up like that, it's up to the quarterback to determine who's coming and who's not.
Okay, so we go to the next one, and you get a look, and this basically tells you that all 7 guys are coming. And, the Texans actually have this blocked if they want. One here, one there, one there, there. I guess they do have one extra guy.
No, the back will come over and get him.
Oh, you're right. Yep.
If they needed to. But so my thing is, you remember last week when Jamal, or I think Aaron Jones, one of them had to come across Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
It was last X and O's last week. So once you figure that out, then you got to look for your matchups. But again, Tom, you got to create who can be the one-on-one. I mean, that's all you got to do. And we used to call this blitz. We used to call this blitz a casino blitz, because we're really gambling here that our guys can defend these guys. Now, normally, you got this guy, Redmond, I think this Redmond, he would come up, he has the back. He would come up too to really make it look like that. But sometimes you can hang out here because, this guy, if he comes over the block, you would replace that area to really bring some heat. Now they can't block everybody. You bring in 8 people.
Yeah.
But you could also stay in the middle and give somebody some help if somebody got loose.
And, what struck me was that Patton just created one-on-ones and said, someone go win a one-on-one.
Exactly.
That's what's going to be required. And then we can kind of see up at the top, Jair Alexander has got his guy covered. Josh Jackson covered. Will Redmond is doubling here. And Watson doesn't really have anyone to go. I don't like this route combination up at the top. I don't know what they're running.
It should have been 3 slants. Side adjust. It should be all 3 guys should be running slants, because you don't have time to come back there, because sooner or later they can only block for so long, and you really got a free guy. He should be coming up here, and could they get what we have called a tango? Is an end on the tight end in the back, but the back, again, remember I told you he went across to pick up the other guy.
Right.
Amos is doing a great job of just keep coming. When you get blocked, Tom, keep coming, because you don't want a guy like Deshaun Watson to reverse out, and now he may score.
Yeah, and so here you see there's just nothing open for him up here.
Not at all.
And those other guys just ran out of the picture. Yep. So he either has to recognize this quick and run, or get rid of it.
Right.
And he didn't make the right decision, or he just couldn't do it. Amos was on him too quickly.
Yep, and there's the result there. You get a sack. So, I get excited anytime a safety gets a sack. But these are all unselfish plays by these guys, because they got to stay in their lanes to make sure somebody beats the one-on-one. Don't try to collapse, and next thing you know, you got 2 guys in one gap, and now next thing you know, the quarterback can take off and run. I've seen that happen a lot.
Yep, but, if a guy wins his one-on-one, that's how you stop it.
Yep, absolutely.
All right. So anyway, I hope everybody enjoyed this. It was two very interesting plays from the Texans game, and we will be back next week for another episode of X's and O's, where we'll probably look at a couple of plays from the Vikings game, and then look ahead to the 49ers game.
Yeah, George Kittle and company. Yeah,
those guys are playing pretty well now.
Yeah.
So you got some sponsors you want to thank?
Well, the same guys, the Jewelry Center, again, Ivanhoe Pub and Eatery, Game Day Brats. You can order my famous brats. They're delicious. And, of course, Pick and Save. And I want everybody to make sure you get out and vote. You know, this is a big time to do something we wanted to do for a long time, and that's exercise your right to vote. And, again, if you have a mail-in ballot, you can always drop it off because it may be too late because if they receive it after the election, they won't count it. So make sure you stay in tune to that. And again, I want to thank Bill Schultz, our executive producer, for always helping me and Tom look at these great plays and set up.
Yeah. I think you just gave him a promotion. He wasn't executive last week.
Well, in my mind, he's executive because without him, we don't have a show.
Okay.
All this technology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will see you next time. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.